two round-robin pools have now been set after 8 provincial championships were decided this past weekend. And Skylar Ackerman joins us. She represents Saskatchewan. They got the jump on this. They decided this in Tisdale 2 weeks ago. Skylar, thank you for the time. Thank you for joining us. And it's gotten real now. You got your draw. You got your pool. How are you feeling about Calgary and the Scotties?
It's starting to feel a little more real, that's for sure. Now that we've got the draw and kind of can make a schedule and a plan moving into Calgary, it's really, really exciting.
Yeah, national championships aren't entirely new for you. This one is, but you've been to many. Can you talk about your curling road to get here, if you wouldn't mind, and what it means to be representing the green at the Scotties this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of just grew up in the rink. My whole family curled, so I just kind of grew up watching them, and then eventually started sitting on the rocks, going up and down, getting pushed up and down. Eventually, I started learning how to throw from my parents and my family, and then grew up following my brother around the rink when he started competitive, and then I was like, pretty cool. And then I started on that road and went to my first national in 2018, U18s in New Brunswick, which was so cool to wear the green jacket for the first time there. Yeah, it's kind of been a dream of mine ever since I was a little kid watching curling growing up to be able to represent Saskatchewan at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. So for me and my whole team, for us this year to be able to do that it's really a dream come true for all of us, and we just can't wait.
Right. Yeah, and you're recognized as a Moose Jaw gal, but you're living in Saskatoon now. Can you talk about how you're kind of bridging that, and tell me about your team? And you'll always be a Moose Jaw gal, but you've had some changes in your life the last couple of years, schooling and so forth.
Yeah, I'm in my last year of my undergrad right now at the U of S, so been living in Saskatoon for a couple of years now. Go home when I can on weekends and stuff when we're not competing, and in the summer a bit. Yeah, still go home and throw rocks with Dad at the rink when I'm home and at the club there, and it's just good to see everybody who I kind of grew up curling with and sparring with when I was a kid in Moose Jaw, and it's crazy how much support I still have from that community and from here, and just honestly the whole province is it just feels like the whole province is behind us with how many messages and everything we've gotten. We have such a great supportive team, and it makes it that much more fun, that's for sure.
Of course.
Yeah, so me and two of my other teammates live in sorry.
No, go. Okay, I asked you about your team, and you're about to do that, so go ahead.
Me and two of my other teammates live in Saskatoon here, so the three of us practice together whenever we can, and then our third, Ashley, lives in Melfort, so it was nice that Provincials was nice and close to home for her, so she had lots of people out cheering us on.
You've mentioned your dad, I think, a couple times, and you guys are on the farm just outside Moose Jaw, and he's your coach, right, going to Scotties. So talk about his influence, if you don't mind, and what's he going through right now emotionally as you get ready for the national championships?
I'm sure it's a bit of a whirlwind for him as well. It was long ago that he took me to my first national when I was 17, so to be able to take me to my Scotties and watch me live out my dream is pretty special for him too, as he said, and it's really special to just have him there behind me and with me, and see how much support him and my whole family have for me and how much they believe in me. It's really gotten me to the next level. I wouldn't be where I'm at without that belief behind me and my family, for sure.
Well, you just talked about being a lifelong curler, but tell me this. Youngest skip to win Saskatchewan. Are you the youngest skip to go to the Scotties, or what's the record there?
You know that one. I think there's a couple. I think there was a couple that have been younger than me that I've went before. But it's
Okay.
still it's quite the honor to be able to represent Saskatchewan as the youngest, for sure.
Right, at your age, exactly. But you've brought in Amber Holland, who is a good friend of mine. We've known each other for years, and she's going to be your fifth. So can you talk about that, what that will mean to your team, and how that came about that you would bring along Amber?
Pretty good family friend with my family as well, kind of grown up because she's from that Moose Jaw area as well, and in the summer we have a place out in Elbow, so we spend a lot of time with them in the summer. Just know her really well already, have worked with her in the past a bit. and she's been there. She knows everything. She's been to this same venue in the bubble when it was there over COVID, so she'll know the ins and outs of everything there. And we're just really excited to be able to lean on her experience and ask her questions like we're going to have, and just to be able to have her with us and just on this journey with us and learn from her is going to be a really great experience for all of us.
Dilk, Saskatchewan, I believe, is what she calls home. So, yes, and Lumsden area and Moose Jaw, so forth. But I will say this, Amber's experience will help, because as I look at these teams, Carrie Anderson, Caitlin Laws, Rachel Homan, Jennifer Jones. I've been interviewing athletes longer than you've been alive, Skylar. Is there going to be a little bit of an intimidation factor or even awe factor when you get on the ice with them? Because the athletes all say, initially, yes, but then it goes away. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Be a little bit intimidating going up against some of those bigger names and teams that have been to the Olympics multiple times and have so much wins than we do at that high competitive level. But we're just going to go there and take things one shot at a time and focus on ourselves and our processes and what we do best, and try not to think about who we're up against, but just focus on ourselves as much as we can.
Good for you. Well, you'll be fine. I can't imagine. That would be pretty cool. And that is an awesome venue, like you said. So having Amber there, having had been there in WinSport in the bubble will help. Let me just ask you this, without being too prying, you mentioned the messages and so forth. Who do they come from? Obviously the friends and stuff, but did we hear from the premier? Did we hear from the mayor? What are some of the well wishes you've had since winning the province? Which, by the way, congratulations, is a huge deal. You look at the names on there, but then, to go to the Scotties is amazing, man. Who have you heard from?
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable that we're going. Just the amount of support we've had, like friends, family, lots of our teachers at school, past coaches and past teams. Yeah, just pretty much anyone you can think of. Sometimes we're just walking. It's crazy. Just like the other day, I was walking through somewhere and they were like, "Hey, you just won provincials," and they were watching our games and stuff. So it's kind of feel a little bit like a celebrity, which is it's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the thing is, they all feel part of it and, assisting you on your way. That's the really cool thing, and 100% support you have from them. That's awesome, Skylar. Well, you've got ours. I'll be watching for sure. I know you're a busy gal. These are busy times, so good luck there. We'll chat with you after you win it.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Thank you, Skylar. Skylar Ackerman. There you go. The youngest skip coming out of the province heading to Calgary for the Scotties.